All right, we got a hot mic here. As Trump would say, grab him by the... Do you want to open it when I start? Okay, shut. All right. All right, here we go, here we go. It's 10 o'clock at night, the kids are asleep, the wife is on the couch, and you know what that means? That means it's beer night! Ah! I'm back! Back by popular demand. Because you know what? The last video I posted on YouTube about beer had the most views of any YouTube video ever in history.
Rich,
What?
I think you only had 30 views.
That's not true. That's not true. My last video had the most views of any video in world history, period.
Okay, but the tracker clearly said 30.
You know what? I would have had the most views if it were not for millions and millions of illegal video YouTube views on other videos. YouTube, it's a tremendous disgrace. I'm gonna order a full investigation into my YouTube views, and you'll see I will be right. Let's move on. All right, trivia question from the last big video I did. It was the biggest. They can't believe how big it was. The trivia question was, who are the mommy and daddy hops that did you know what to make the baby hop Mosaic hop, which makes my favorite beer, Community Brewing Company Mosaic IPA. And Beer by the Numbers, a great YouTube channel all about beer. You guys got the answer. The answer was the Simcoe hops and the Nugget hops. Those were the mommy and daddy, Simcoe and Nugget, and they crossbred to make the Mosaic hops. So way to go, Beer by the Numbers. Go check those guys out. All right, tonight's beer, we're doing a really cool beer. I don't even know if it's really considered a beer. It's a Lambic. It's Lindemans Framboise from Belgium. It's a country we haven't started a war with yet, Belgium. You better watch your back though, because I heard if you don't pay up your NATO bill, we're gonna walk away and you can deal with Russia all by yourself. That's right, and I heard Putin, he has a taste for Framboise Lambics, so watch out. But yeah, let's talk about Lambic and Lindemans. So Lindemans, the brewery that makes this, started in 1822 by Franz Lindemans. Let's talk about what a Lambic is. Lambic is a very uniquely brewed beer. They do it different than other kinds of beer. So they boil the wheat and the barley to make the wort, the hot wort. And for a Lambic, they pour it into a big metal pan where they let it cool overnight in the Belgium air. And microorganisms specific to this region of Belgium fall into this metal pan of cooling wort, and that gives it certain characteristics. Then hops are added to the wort, not the bitter hops that you think of like in an IPA, but old dry hops. So it doesn't give any bitterness, but it gives it certain antibacterial characteristics. Then you take the wort, that after it had the hops added to it, and you put it in either oak barrels or chestnut barrels that previously held sherry or port wine. So you can imagine the inside of these barrels are probably like a dark red from holding the sherry or port wine. And as the Lambic sits in these barrels, certain key yeast and other bacteria from the wood go into the Lambic, causing the fermentation process. So the Lambic then sits in the wooden barrel for either 1 year or several years as it ferments. It's then removed, and it's common they mix an old Lambic with a new one to make a blend, which causes a second fermentation. Now, a kriek, if you've heard of a kriek, it's like a cherry Lambic. A kriek, the second fermentation happens with sour cherries sitting in it. Other Lambics, as far as my research shows, like a Framboise Lambic, raspberry juice is added to the Lambic during the second fermentation. So that was a lot. Brewing a Lambic is way complicated, more than a regular beer, way more than a crappy wine. So let's go ahead and see what it tastes like. Let's see how these guys did. You know, they've got almost 200 years of doing this. I've always liked, let's see how close I can get here. I've always liked the foil around this bottle. I think it looks really neat. This is not an easy, quick beer to open, but let's go ahead and cut off some of this foil. And then, after the foil comes off, then we've got a cap. We're not going to be done after the cap, I can tell. There's something else in here. And then we've got a nice cork. You can see that nice little cork right there. Oh, all right. Look at that. I wish you guys at home could smell the fragrance coming out of this thing. It's right there on the cork too. Nice, beautiful little pink on the cork. That is nice. All right, and when you drink a Lambic, it's a fruity beer, so you have to look fruity. You're gonna wanna drink it out of a tulip glass or here's a tulip glass, or you can drink it out of a flute glass. If you go look on a Beer Advocate glassware, they kind of classify all the different kinds of glassware for different beers. But this makes me think of Belgium. Look at this beautiful, beautiful drink. So it is like it's a dark purple in the glass. The head on it is pink. It's a nice pink head. I want to see if I can show this to you guys on here. It's like a nice pink head. It is just beautiful looking. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. I'm gonna give this, I can already smell it, but let's smell it closely here. Man, that is just awesome. That is awesome. It is just like, it smells like candy. It smells like candy to me. It's fruity and strong and delicious smelling. Here we go. Woo! It is sour. Woo! It is tart. Tart and sour are the two words that come to mind. It's a little bit sweet to kind of balance out the sourness. Sort of at the finish is sweet, but overall very tart. It's good though, I like it. I like things that are tart, I like things that are bitter. I always like sort of the extremes, but it's really, really good. Very light carbonation. I think it's considered an aperitif. It's something you just sort of like, you obviously, I think one person wouldn't polish off one of these, although they surely can, but it's an aperitif, gets your appetite going. By the way, it's only 2.5% alcohol, so you're not gonna get drunk drinking this. Think of it sort of like a lightly carbonated, beerish fruit drink. I can see people that maybe like ciders and other kinds of more fruit-based beers would probably like this as well. Great job, Lindemans Framboise. I really like it. I need to rank it. And you know, it's hard to rank a beer that's so different from other beers, but I guess I'll just do it anyways. Maybe I'll give this beer like a, I'm gonna give you an 80. Just a straight up 80. 80 out of 100, 8 out of 10, call it what you want. Definitely a good drink. It's a nice, good, refreshing drink. Way to go. So, trivia question for this week. What is the name of the region of Belgium where Lambics originate? That's your trivia question. I will mention you on the next big, tremendous video if you get the question right. Just put it in the comments. So, oh, reminder, if you like Corona, Corona Extra, Corona Light, buy as much as you can. Stockpile Corona. Things with Mexico are not looking good right now. It's hard to get beer over a wall, and it's hard to pay for beer when there's a 20% tax on it. So if you like Corona, put it in your garage, put it in your attic. I would be hoarding that stuff. I reviewed Corona a few months back. It was more refreshing than I thought it would be. Kind of makes me want to go to the beach right now and drink a Corona. So guess I'll have to go to Mexico if I want a good deal on that Corona. Okay, thank you so much for watching my tremendous show. Remember, no matter where you are in the world, Even if you are in Iraq, Iran, Syria, Libya, Egypt, Sudan, or Somalia, if you like beer, even if it's non-alcoholic beer, because I know what the laws are there, but if you like any kind of beer at all, you will always have a friend right here in Plano, Texas. In fact, you have a friend here even if you don't like beer. You always have a friend right here in Plano, Texas. God bless America. We're gonna make beer great again in America. Good night!